I think these are Cambodian. They understand Khmer perfectly. So it's my privilege to be here. I'm coming here for a short visit, Cambodian New Year celebration. I will leave tomorrow, and I'm delighted to be in Middlesex Community College. Back in Cambodia, I also work at the university. Middlesex used to have a connection with my university, Panyasasa University of Cambodia, and he is a student there. I'm sorry, she is a student there. Yeah. Thank you very much for, is that Asian Center? Yeah, for organizing this event. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Buddhism. I think maybe all of you have known some about Buddhism, right? Okay. So the founder of Buddhism is the Buddha. He's an ordinary person like every one of us. He was a crown prince. He's supposed to be king. At the age of 16, he got married with a son. But during that time, he wandered the life outside the palace. His father kept him inside the palace only. He didn't want the Buddha to see something outside, because according to the prediction, when he got out the city, he saw the suffering and he will leave the palace and to be a monk. But he could not prevent him from going out. When he went out, he witnessed a lot of suffering of the people outside the city. The hunger, the starvation, the sickness, the old age, and death. That's why at the age of 26, he left the palace to become a monk. And for 6 years of training, he then became a Buddha. But what is the importance of being a Buddha? A Buddha is an ordinary person like every one of us. I think we all experience two types of suffering. The first one is physical suffering, and the second one is mental suffering. No one can avoid physical suffering. Even the Buddha, even Jesus Christ, maybe, I think. Even Muhammad cannot avoid the physical suffering. But the second type of suffering, it depends on the person, how well he trained his mind. If he trained his mind well, he has less mental suffering. And I think living in the US, in terms of physical suffering, we still have some level of physical suffering. But if compared to Cambodian situation, you have less. You have food to eat, you have house to stay, you have much better healthcare than Cambodia. You get sick, you don't worry much. The doctors will take care of you. But back in Cambodia, if you don't have money, you cannot get medical care. You're left behind. But we have a physical suffering, but we have less, depending on where you stay and what good, how well the economic run. But in terms of mental suffering, wherever we suffer, we get frustrated for some time, we feel stressful, we worry, if you hesitated, and sometimes even in a very highly developed country, some people still want to commit suicide. In Singapore, a developed nation in Southeast Asia, and in Japan, a very highly developed nation, the rate of suicide is very high. Yeah. And that is mental suffering. And that is the question that the Buddha asked himself: how can he overcome the suffering? Which every one of us face that kind of suffering. So through practice meditation, at the end he found out that strong attachment to things make us much suffering. For example, if I bought a new iPhone 7 Plus and accidentally I drop it, or you drop it, do you feel suffer when you broke?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Because I just bought something new. I spend it with my money or whomever money.
Yeah.
It's not like, stress like, paying bills, but it's still a little stress, yeah.
So you love it,
Suffer,
right?
sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially now because I'm attached to my phone.
Yeah. So compared to the iPhone 5, you drop it. If you compare the level of suffering, which one is less? So one is iPhone 7 Plus, and another one is iPhone 5. You drop both. Which one do you feel suffer more?
Yeah.
The new one. So what is the reason why you?
Because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
It's more expensive. Okay. So that is one reason to suffer much, because we have strong attachment to it, because we love it so much. But still we need to love. If you have kids, if you have your husband, you have your wife, you need to take care of them. But the Buddha said that the Buddha reminds us that those individuals or those things are not permanent. They will change one day, and he advised us to be well prepared for the separation of those things, to be aware that those things will be apart from us someday, so we don't feel suffer much. That is a lesson in life. Like if you prepare yourself to graduate from your high school and you learn a lot, you have full knowledge of your subjects, and when you take exam, do you feel you are worried about taking exam if you know everything? Do you feel worried about your exam?
Very much.
Very much. If compared to someone who didn't know anything and go to take exam, do they feel worried about the exam? Still worry. But if you learn, if you know more, you worry less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the thing that the Buddha advised to people, that in life there are up and down. There are happiness and suffering. There are joy and sorrow. And he advised to accept both. Because that is the nature of life. What we call, what he called, that is wisdom. So I think I'd like to open the floor for question. Question is better for me to interact with you. Do you have anything about Buddhism or whatever, about Cambodian culture or anything? Okay.
Was there any culture shock when you came to America?
Yeah. Yeah. shaking hand, usually in Cambodia, as a monk, I don't shake hand very often, especially with girl. So it's very, I feel very hesitated when someone give their hand and I must shake her hand. If the boy is okay, but for the girl, the culture not allow me to do so. That's one thing. One of my hosts at Troy University in Alabama, when I leave her, he almost come and hug me. I said, no. Okay, that is one thing. Okay.
Can you also list like other restrictions as a Buddhist monk that a normal, non-holy person would, like what else besides not being able to interact with women? What other restrictions do you have?
No dinner. So I can have food only up to 12 o'clock, from 6 in the morning up to 12.
So you fast from 12 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Every
day?
I mean from 6 a.m. to 12.
You eat 6 a.m. to 12, but
Yeah.
then after 12
After
p.m.
just.
until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So you fast.
Yeah.
Wow. And you just drink water.
Drink water and juice, coffee, something.
So can you tell me why the Buddha explain that the Buddhism, like the monk cannot eat after 12? Like, what the reason why? Maybe show us, like,
There's an experiment back here in the U.S. I think they put a group of, is that mouse or a rat? Is it rat? Yeah. One group they offer everything. They eat full every day, and one they just give only 80% of food they need. The one who eat less live longer. I think that is the reason. And according to the medical doctor, they tell us that dinner is not as important as breakfast and lunch, because we don't work much after dinner.
That's
just
what
mean
most
like
people
there is no explanation in Buddhist or something?
Yeah, one more reason is that we don't waste too much time in cooking, going for food anymore, because as a monk back in Cambodia, we need to get out and take some food from home to home. We don't cook ourselves. We depend our living on the people. When we don't, in the morning we get out, but if we need another meal at dinner time, we need to go out again. So we don't need that. So we have more time to learn and meditate. Okay.
Vulnerable. This is more like a political question with what's going on in Cambodia now, with all the election and all that, and all the corruption and inequality and the injustice in Cambodia. What role do you see Buddhism or the monks play in this time of chaos? Not chaos, but like, what can society do, but also the temple could do in terms of helping ease that tension, whether it's working with the government or the people? This is homeland Cambodia, not here.
I think monks stand as a moral figure in the society. I believe that monks are supposed not to take part in politics. I believe it's good to be above politics and to be advisor of politicians. Maybe human rights groups said, "Oh, you are citizen of Cambodia, you have right to do this, to do this." Yeah, I agree with that, but it's better to have a little bit higher position in terms of giving advice and standing as a moral role in society and mobilizing and bringing people together, uniting people. Because we teach about love and compassion and tolerance and all those stuff. So I think monks still have an important role in uniting people when they are divided. Okay. So, any more questions? No?
What is your day like every day?
So, chanting in the morning and meditation for a short period of time, and eating breakfast. But in Cambodia, we need to get out and get some food from home to home and have lunch. And in the afternoon, we study, and the early evening, we start chanting again.
Are there restrictions on what food you can eat?
Not really, back in Cambodia. Okay. Okay.
Can you say any scriptures or like chant a little?
Oh yeah.
How would you bless someone if they were asking for a blessing?
Oh yeah, that is a good question. Most of the people think that monk bless them, and I don't think so. And here's the thing: a monk have a role of teaching, of explaining, of showing the reason, of telling the truth, of directing the right path to walk. For example, the Buddhas tell us, here's the thing, the summary of the teaching of the Buddha. There are only 3, you can remember that. First one, not doing any evil action, any bad action, the very first summary of his teaching. The second is do only good thing. And the third thing is try to purify your mind. Okay? That is the summary of the whole teaching of the Buddha. And I think that the Buddha just telling that the good way to go, to walk. And if you walk that path, you will get peace and happiness within yourself or in the community. But in terms of blessing, how can I say? I am ordinary person. I have problem like all of you. I face difficulties. I experience physical difficulty like all of you. But the role of monk is giving direction, showing the path, and that's it. In terms of blessing, yes, traditionally we invite monks to give blessing. That is one way to understand that blessing is that when some good person come to your home, you feel happy. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. If, for example, someone you really admire and you come and he come to your home, you feel excited, you feel happy. That is a blessing. If you respect the monk, you feel very like him very much, and when they go to your home, you feel excited, you feel happy. That is the blessing. That is the reason of blessing ceremony. Okay?
When did you decide to become a monk? Or
At the age of 18?
18?
Yeah. In my teenager.
How do you feel yourself being a monk?
I have more time. If an ordinary people like you can go to nightclub, party, to drink. I cannot do that. And I expose my life to the training of the mind more than an ordinary person. So if you have your spouse, you have your children, you have your business, you have those stuff, you don't have much time to deal with your mental state. Okay.
If you have any advices, what would it be like to us? Advice?
Okay.
As a stressful college student, what are some advice?
Okay. I think learn to be here. Learn to be here and now. Most of the time we stay in the past, or we worry much about what is going to happen tomorrow, and we forget to live today. And one time I met one professor from Stanford University. He went to Sri Lanka. He told us that about ordinary people spend about 79% either stay in the past or live in the future. Left only 21% focus on the present. And he stated that is a reason of having so much mental suffering. So he advised us that to focus, to be in the present, to be here and now. Another term we call it mindfulness or mindful living. Have you ever heard of the word mindfulness? Or mindful living? Yeah. One time, the Vietnamese monk was invited to talk about how to lose weight. And he advised people to have a mindful eating. So, not just, okay, eat slowly. And I don't know, tầm pía, ông lấy tham tầm pía. Chew it slowly, and according to the research, people when they eat fast, they cannot digest well, so become bigger. But if the research showed that usually it's good to chew 15 times before getting to your stomach. And it sits slow, and it lasts. The secret to lose weight. But it is one thing, what we call mindful eating. But it's not only that, mindful walking, what we call a walking meditation, another term. Or not just for monks. You can practice meditation while you are sitting here, while you are eating, while you're going to the bathroom, while you are wearing your robe, whatever you're doing, you need to stay with you. Our mind is wandering around. Our mind is monkey. And it gets exhausted when you let your mind flying or running around without staying at your home. And here is your home. So learn to be in the present. You still need to plan to do what is going to. You need to plan for tomorrow, but don't forget to stay here and now. Okay. And be happy. Some bad story, just throw it away into the trash can. Don't bring it back. Oh, some bad situation, just let it go. I think there's a song, Let It Go, right?
Can you give us an example of how you meditate to get rid of bad thoughts and bad energy? And, how would you suggest we meditate?
Okay. It's about telling your mind, okay? When the negative thought come to your mind, you're aware that, oh, I have a negative thought right now. I feel angry, I feel hesitated, I've worried too much. You're aware that you have that kind of feeling, okay? The very first step to kick out the thief from your house, you need to recognize that is a thief. That is a robber, okay? If you don't know that that is a thief, that is a robber, you cannot keep him out. So the very first step is to recognize it. Oh, I have a angry mind, not an angry bird. I have a hesitated feeling. Like if you drive very fast and you're aware that, oh, I'm driving fast, so you learn to slow it down, right? Okay, you try to slow it down. It's the same thing. The mind is running fast into different direction every day. So if it goes into the wrong direction, like having a negative feeling, recognize that I have a negative feeling, and bring it back, focus on something positive, something good, okay? So that is about training, about taking, about bringing. And it takes time. It takes much time to do that, okay? And if you have time, another thing is meditation. Maybe if you have time, sit for 5 minutes, focus on your breathing in and breathing out, what we call mindful breathing. Focus only breathing in and breathing out. That is a good time to relax, to recharge the battery. You feel exhausted, tired, you just can do that for 10 minutes, the energy comes back.
So if you accidentally fall asleep.
Yeah, that's good to have sleep. And that's good, okay.
Do you usually meditate in the morning, at night? Or is it like
Whenever I have time.
whenever you have time?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
When you decided to become a monk, how difficult was it for you to adjust to your new lifestyle compared to
Remembering, reciting is my hard part. Being a monk, you need to remember things, right? Reciting. Like you asked me to do chanting. Like Pavata Sapamangalang, Rakhantu Sapatevata, something like that. So you need to remember that. And it is hard for me at the very first place to remember everything in chanting. And I don't remember much still now. Okay. And not eating dinner is also a difficult part for me, because I used to eat dinner for 18 years and stop it. It's difficult. But now I get used to it. And I don't feel like eating dinner. No feeling of eating dinner. Maybe because of no eating for almost 20 years, so I don't feel like eating it. Okay.
So, I want to ask, you told us that we should care about our people around us, right? So, if we care too much about other people, if we care about our action that might affect to other people, so we mean sometimes we think about other people too much. So, what do we think? What should we do, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if we care about other people too much, so we cannot reach our goal.
Okay.
Yeah, so you thought that you told us that about the negative thing that we need to aware of. But sometimes if we think about other people too much, we cannot reach our destination. So what is
So let me talk a little bit about love and compassion, okay? Every religion, every society tell us that you need to take care of your people, right? And that is good. And we also need to take care of ourselves. And the Buddha advised us that a very first love is the love to yourself. That's why the chanting, a very short chanting for yourself to be remembered, and that is what we call loving kindness meditation. I think you can remember that that is short and simple. And it is powerful. And it's so great. It makes me feel so good after reciting, after chanting that. It is, may I be well and happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be well and happy. May I be free from suffering. So the very first step to develop love and compassion, first you need to be able to love yourself. And you wish yourself for well-being, for peace and happiness and everything. That is one way to generate positivity inside your heart. Okay? If you lack of positivity inside your heart, you feel suffer very much. So, may I be well and happy, may I be free from suffering. May I be well and happy, may I be free from suffering. That is a mantra. And I almost guarantee you, I don't want to guarantee you, but if you try to focus on that positive energy inside your heart, you feel so free, you feel so happy inside. And then you expand that love to everyone. May everyone in this room be well and happy. May everyone in this room be free from suffering. You smile. You are happy inside. And the secret of happiness for me. Okay. Any question? Okay.
Can you maybe talk about more about the Buddhist religion? Like, is there so like in Christians they read a Bible, in Catholic they read a Bible. In Buddhist, do you guys have like a Bible as well? And is it called a Bible?
We have that kinds of scripture. We call it Tripitaka. You may not be familiar with that word. That is a Bible in Buddhism. And we have so many books. Back in Cambodia, we have 110 volumes of the teaching of the Buddha. And it's the combination of the rule of the monk, being a monk, what should I do? One part. The second part is the discussion of the Buddha during his lifetime. And it is about teaching about showing the right path to the people. Yeah. And the final part of his teaching is the philosophy and the psychology in Buddhism. Okay. We have the Bible of Buddhism. We call it Tripitaka. Okay. Any more thing? Okay.
What made you want to become a monk rather than
ordinary people? Okay. My grandfather was a monk, and it is a traditional practice in Cambodia that in one family, if it is good to have one son to be a monk. That is one reason. Another reason is maybe I feel so attached to the temple. It's quiet, it's peaceful. I feel so loved. And then one more reason is I think that being a monk, we have more time to train the mind, to concentrate, to focus, to learn. So, and the very main source of suffering is not having enough mental training. Even you have millions of dollars in the bank account, you are the prime minister, you are a millionaire, you are famous, you still suffer. I saw some American actor and actress feel so stressful, even they are so famous. One example, I think in Germany, in Germany, I think. During the 2008, the economic crisis in the US, he lost $1 billion. The total asset he has is $10 billion, but he lost $1 billion. He still had $9 billion in his bank account, but because of losing $1 billion, he committed suicide. Even he had $9 billion in his bank account. Is he poor compared to us? No, he's not poor. But cannot confront it. He could not confront it with the situation. Lack of the training of accepting the situation, leading him to committing suicide. So the mental training is important for everyone, not just for the important people. Ordinary people also need to take care of your mind. Walk your mind in the right path, in the right way. Be happy. Okay.
Is there some books that you could have probably suggested to us about mental training that you have read before in the past?
One book by Vietnamese monk. His name is Thich Nhat Hanh. I think it's free on Google. True Love. Just put it True Love, maybe Thich Nhat Hanh something. Okay, and it appear on Google. Another book, I think, one book by Sri Lankan monk. The title of the book is Living Without Fear and Worry. Okay, and I think it's free on Google too. Live without fear and worry. Okay, it's free. Maybe take a look at it, okay? Okay. Some other thing? Okay.
So, what was your darkest moments when being a monk?
But I'm sorry?
Your darkest times when being a monk?
Doctor time.
No, hardest
times, like dark.
Yeah.
Oh. So let me think of it. I think finishing my degree is hard one. I think like the same to you maybe. I'm struggling right now. I'm in my doctoral program back in Cambodia, and I'm struggling with my writing dissertation. So that is the hardest one.
What's the major?
Leadership. Okay, I'm writing about Buddha's leadership. Okay. Okay.
What made you pick that topic?
I like that, and I think Buddhism has something to offer.
Yeah.
And the Buddha set an example of leading his community. Even he already passed away 1,000 years ago, but his organization still exists up to today, 2,500 years ago. And I thought, wow, what is his strategy to set up a community even he passed away and the organization still exists and expanded, not just exists. And it is wonderful, and I learned a lot from him. Okay. And we don't have, as a monk in the temple, we don't have our own business. But how can we survive? I think that, he's so lovely in terms of setting the survival strategy for his member in the monk community. Okay. So, anything else? What time is it now?
Yeah.
Oh, we're almost time. Yeah.
Can we get some pictures with you?
Yeah. So no more question, right? Okay.
So you say you write about leadership. Would you ever release that as a book?
Yeah, I'm going to finish it at the end of the year, I hope.
You do?
Yeah.
I'll be excited to read that.
Yeah. Good. I will share with you. So, in summary, the teaching of the Buddha is about training. It's training the mind, okay? Okay. It's about directing our life into the right path. It's about caring ourselves and caring people around us. It's about living at the moment. Don't lose yourself to the past or to the future too much. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, the crew, for organizing this.
Oh, Karanaka is the organizer. Thank you for.
Okay.
Thank you for giving us time with you. It's meant to be that you're here. I know you have a lot of stuff going on, busy schedule, but talk about living in the present, right? We're here, you're here, and
Okay.
Karanaka did a great job in grabbing that opportunity, even though it was short notice. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Did you guys want pictures?
Yeah. Okay.
Where do you want to take them?